And now, the moment you all been waiting for, the second part. Where am I? Tronza asked as he looked around Pandora's palace. Who are you? Pandora only smiled and replied.
I am the great witch Pandora, and I have freed you from your vegetable state,
she told him as she put a hand on his shoulder, then pointed to her minions.
This is Topat, Bulpak, Gravosa, Piprikan, and Lami.
Tronza looked at her. What happened to me? He asked her as he put his hands on her shoulders, shaking her a bit. Pandora only grimaced as he put Tronza off and told him the story.
After you were left to die by Radicate, you were found by humans and taken to a mental institution, where you were a human vegetable and remained there until I had my minions bring you here.
Tronza could only stumble back, taking all this in. He then turned to Pandora to ask her more questions. Where's Radicate? What happened to the Vyram?
Gone, she told him. All destroyed by Jetman. I know this is a lot to take in.
So I'm the only one left. Pandora only nodded her head. But why did you bring me back?
I brought you back when I sensed your power deep inside your shell. I was hoping you could help me defeat my enemy, the Zyurangers. If we join forces, then we can finally destroy them. What do you say?
Extending her hand, all Tronza did was smack it. No, he answered her. This was starting to make Pandora very angry.
What did you say?
I'm going to rebuild Vyra back to his former glory and get my revenge on Jetman. You can solve your own problems yourself, Tronza said to her as he made away to the exit.
Get back here, she barked. Griffinzor, Lami!
Obeying her mistress, the husband and wife drew out their weapons and charged. Hearing their footsteps, Tronza ducked his head from Griffinzor's swipe, kicked him in the stomach and flipped Lami over him. Tronza summoned his weapon, Boltronza, and the three began to clash. Every time Griffinzor and Lami tried to attack him, Tronza would always block them. Getting tired of this, he pressed the buttons on his right arm, which caused Griffinzor and Lami to collide into each other, knocking them out. Weak warriors. He scoffed, and then turned to Pandora. Now for you. Drawing out his weapon, he charged at Pandora, going for a killer blow. When he ran up to her, ready to kill her, Pandora grinned and chuckled. Smiling at your demise, he then slashed at her, only to find he slashed a teddy bear. What the? Then the sounds of her laughter started filling in the room. Where are you, coward? He demanded, looking for the source of the laughter. Where are you? Pandora then stepped in front of him and smacked him to the floor with a scepter. You bitch! Tronza got up and charged at Pandora, only to be shot in the back by a laser shot. Then Pandora started chanting a spell, causing her scepter to glow. Tronza tried to cover his ears, trying to block the spell. After uttering the last part of the spell, Pandora fired a stream of magic into Tronza's eyes, causing him to howl in pain and drop to his knees. Once the spell was over and done with, Pandora approached Tronza and smiled.
How are you feeling, Tronza-chan?
She asked him, bending down to her knees. Tronza lifted his head up, staring at her with a blank expression in the face. Fine, he replied. Pandora-sama. It was a warm, sunny day in Tokyo. The breeze was refreshing, and the sakuras were in full bloom. Children everywhere were playing in the parks. It was so peaceful on this day, and the ones enjoying it the most were the Zyurangers. Their mentor, Barza, had suggested that they spent the rest of the day relaxing and having fun with themselves. Oh, you mean they actually knew how to have fun? You mean the Zyurangers actually know how to live lives, and their mentor actually allowed them to be humans for once? I am utterly shocked, Barza. Here I thought you just confined them into their temple all day long, and that they weren't allowed to have lives, or allowed to do anything but serve you, you miserable piece of dick! God, I hate Barza. So they were playing volleyball, Geki and Dan against May and Boy, with Goshi being scorekeeper. All of them wearing t-shirts and shorts instead of their usual tribal outfits. Surprisingly, they actually have more than one outfit. I am utterly shocked. Giggled Topaz as he and Tronzo watched the Zyurangers from behind some bushes.
Now, you know what to do.
Yes, Topaz-sama, Tronzo replied. Topaz couldn't help but break into a historical fit at being called Topaz-sama. With Fligo's wrist, Tronzo was now wearing a white t-shirt, navy blue shorts, white and red sneakers. Meanwhile, the Zyurangers were in the middle of their game with Geki making the serve. May was the next to hit. Dan went for a dive and hit before the ball hit the ground. Boy jumped up and caught the ball in the air with his feet, spun around in a circle for a while and spiked the ball. Point! Goshi said, as May and Boy cheered.
Oh, hey, come on! That doesn't count, he used his feet!
Dan complained. He's right, Geki said, agreeing with Dan, causing May and Boy to look all moody. All right, grabbing the ball, ready to serve. Yeah, that would be expected of you, Geki. I mean, my god. You're more white bread than freaking Ryu. At least Ryu had character development. What do you have, Geki?
Geki, wait, let me do it?
Dan asked him. Replying, Geki handed Dan the ball and then served it. He hit it over Boy and May's heads.
Ding!
May said sternly as she and Boy ran to get the ball, only for it to be picked up by a man. Tronza.
Excuse me, can we have our ball back?
May asked Tronza. Tronza only gave a sly grin as replied. How about this? All of you against me. How does that sound? The Zyurangers were a little shocked to hear this, to say the least. But they eventually agreed to it, and it was 4 against 1. May was the first to serve, and this game just seemed to go on for hours, as every time someone smacked the ball, Tronzo would always reach it like he had super speed. 10 points, Goshi said as he pointed over at Tronzo. 0 points, pointing at Geki, Boy, May, and Don, who were exhausted and covered in sweat. Don even collapsed. Winner. Breathing hard, Geki walked over to Tronzo, extending a hand. Good game, Geki said, giving a smile, wanting to give Tronzo a congratulatory handshake, only to receive a smug grin from Tronzo getting brushed off. What's his problem? Geki thought to himself.
He could smell bad Red Rangers.
Water. Need water, Dan moaned as he made his way to the drinking fountain, ready to drink some water until he was hit by multiple little explosions. Dan! The other two Rangers shouted as he ran over to their comrade, turned to see Topaz smirking at him. Topaz! Geki yelled, giggling Topaz out. Guns! As the red-eyed clade warriors started to appear. Two Rangers got into their fighting poses and charged at him. Geki did a sweep kick and punched one in the face. Goshi flipped one over him and kicked the other one in the gut, causing the golem to fall over and knocking out the other golems who were nearing it. Dan managed to get some water and started doing backflips, wrapped one golem around his legs and by the neck and flipped him. Boy used his agility and started kicking various golems around. Mai did a few karate chops and a few kicks to the pelvises of some of the golems. Geki punched another golem and then got kicked in the face. He had enough force to send him flying into the tree. Geki! The others shouted as they ran to his aid. They looked at him and saw it was the man they had played volleyball with a few minutes ago that kicked Geki. What the? Geki started to ask as he cut off the man. There's more to me than meets the eye. Tronzo could only reply as he started to materialize into his vibrant costume. Shocked at this, the two Rangers pulled Geki up and got into defensive poses. Doremasa! Geki yelled, only to have Tronzo smirk at him and pressing buttons on his right arm. Suddenly, the two Rangers felt themselves falling backwards and forwards, and then backwards again and again and again. Tronzo started pressing more buttons. The two Rangers felt themselves levitating in the air and started crashing into each other. Geki against Dan, Boy against Goshi, May against Geki, Dan against Boy, Goshi against Geki, Boy against May, May against Dan, Boy against Geki. They all then started falling to the earth. Mina! That's it! Geki ordered as everyone started to get up. They all replied and pulled out their bucklers from their waists and thrust them into the air. Dio! Buckler!
You folks aren't seeing this, but he is literally actually doing the hand motions. He is actually doing the Morse. Listen, Bringer is a total nerd when it comes to this.
Their suits materialized them, and they pulled out their ranger sticks, switched them to sword mode to charge the Tronza. Tronza just smirked again, summoned his Boltanza and charged at the Zyurangers, slashing him across the chest, causing sparks to fly off them. Geki and Tronza clasped blades as Geki kicked Tronza in the gut, causing him to reel back and slash at him, only for Tronza to grab him by the wrist and punch Geki in the face, knocking him down. Dan and Boyd tried to double team him, only for Tronza to knock the blades with his own. Pushed him off and slashed him against the chest. Gussie tried chomping at Tronza with his ranger sword, only for Tronza to block all his slashes and kick him into a tree. May jumped from the air to get a surprise attack, only for Tronza to block her and punch her too. You know, boys, I have a rule when it comes to Sentai crossovers like this. Don't make the visiting team look better than the home team. You guys are the home team. Guess who's looking better than you? And neener. May! The guys all shouted as he ran to her. Geki and Gossi summoned their legendary weapons. Ryuziken! Morph Flicker! They both yelled as they tried to chop Tronza, only for him to press a button on his right arm, causing them both to be repelled back. Mina! Laser gun! Geki ordered as he switched their ranger sticks, switched them to gun mode and fired shots at Tronza, only for him to grab them all in the palm of his hand, fused with his energy, fired back at him. Explosives occurred around them and they were blown back. Their suits demilitarized and they were on the ground, grunting in pain. I just know somewhere out there somebody's complaining that this is very DBZ-esque. To which I say, no, this is very anime-esque. Plenty of anime have done this way before DBZ made it popular. You're only using DBZ because that's the only one you can think of.
Geki, we have to get out of here,
Gussie told him as he tried to get up. Geki wasn't sure about retreating until he saw how badly Dan, Boy, and May were. Retreat! Geki commanded as he summoned the Zora machines and drove away. We're not retreating! You didn't surrender! Toppat could only applaud Tronza as he ran to him, clapping madly.
That was great! You had the Zyurangers on the run!
Toppat complimented him. Thank you, Toppat-sama. Tronza thanked him as he did with a bow. At the Sakura Mansion, Geki was bandaging May, Dan, and Boy as Gossi looked through the Dino Apocalypse to find any information on their newest challenge.
Who was that guy?
Dan whined as he rubbed his sour arm.
I don't know, but he was stronger than any of the door monsters we fought in the past.
Boy said, tussling his bandaged knee and cut cheek. Geki was in the middle of wrapping a bandage around May's head.
Wonder if Gossi's found anything about him?
May asked herself. And just as conveniently, Gossi slammed his fist against the Dino Apocalypse and groaned with anger.
Gossi, what is it?
Geki asked him as he ran to check on his friend. Gossi didn't look up at Geki as he started flipping the pages of the Dino Apocalypse again.
Nothing! Not a single thing!
Gossi heaved. I'll go through this thing. I can't fight anything on this Dora monster. This wasn't filling Geki with much joy.
That's because it isn't a Dora monster,
said a voice as the Zyurangers turned around and saw Barza. Their asshole. I mean jerk off. I mean bastard. I mean loser. I mean piece of shit. I mean mentor! And the man looked over their bodies as they were suspended in animation. Walked into the room wearing his white robes, weird crown thing, carrying a staff.
But, Barza, if he isn't a Dora monster, then what is he?
May asked him. Barza then looked at her and the rest of the group.
He's Emperor Tronza,
Barza replied to her.
An enemy of Jetman.
Jetman? The Zyurangers exclaimed. Barza, who are the Jetman? A far better Sentai than this. Gossi asked, since the Zyurangers had no idea who the Jetmen were, since they were still in suspended animation when the Jetmen were active. Barza walked over to them and replied. They also had better character development, better stories, better makeup, better fights. They also had better characterizations, and Just overall, their stories were better, and the only reason why you guys are popular is because of your connection with MMPR.
This is gonna be a lot of insults towards Zyuranger, isn't it?
Yes, Trixie, it is.
The Jetman were a team of warriors, just like yourselves, that fought to protect a piece of Earth from the Fyrum. Invaders from another dimension wanted to conquer the Earth.
Barza explained to them.
In Tranza, the man you just fought was their leader.
Well, Barza, once again, you're full of bullshit. Technically, there were arguments over who their leader was, and then when Tranza grew up, he tried to take their place as a leader, but Radicate proceeded to betray him, kick his ass, and then Radicate was the leader.
But what I don't understand is how any of the Fyrum could still be around. I was for certain he had been destroyed.
Jetman, Geki said to himself, trying to take all this in. The two Rangers looked up and saw in their weird flowing magic screen thingamabob that... No, that wasn't me, that was the actual fic. That Tranza had appeared in the field as he was waiting for someone.
Mina, let's go!
Geki ordered, and the others replied as they headed to the Zyuranger scenes. Barzuka only wants to worry.
Be careful, everyone,
he called out to them. Tranza was strolling around the field, looking at his sword, humming to himself. Then he heard the roars of motorcycles and looked up to see Kamen Rider! Because as we all know, it's really the riders who ride bikes. What? I just don't like Rangers on bikes. It's a thing with me. Riding on the Zyuranger scenes up to a high place, he got off of them.
Tranza!
Geki yelled, getting into a fighting pose. Tranza could only smirk at this. So I see you finally found out I'm not a door monster, huh? Tranza asked him with a grin on his face.
It doesn't matter you're a door monster or a Fyrum. We're still going to defeat you no matter what!
Geki yelled, and the others agreeing to him as he walked down to Tranza. Tranza's face became serious as he fired a laser beam at him. Causing an explosion to happen in front of them.
Dino! Bukra!
Came out a cry in front of smoke as the Rangers got into their zoots.
Let's go!
Geki says they drew out their legendary weapons and charged at Tranza. With the weapons drawn out, they all jumped on Tranza, trying to keep him down, only for her to step back and knock him down.
For silence!
Tranza shouted as he charged at Tranza, ready to slash him, only for Tranza to block his weapon with a bolt Tranza, kick him to the ground.
Hero!
He yelled as he fired arrows at Tranza, only for him to block him with his bolt Tranza, fired him back at May, causing her to fall down and sparks fly across her chest.
Mothmaker!
Saber daggers!
Gussie and Boy yelled as they ran at Tranza. Tranza saw this and ran right through them, slicing them back and causing sparks to fly. Not giving up, Boy chucked one of his daggers at Tranza, causing Tranza's right elbow to spark, causing him pain. Angry, Tranza grabbed Boy by his neck and repeatedly kicked him in the gut, causing sparks to fly, and he flew over to Goshi, landing on him.
Ryukiken!
Geki yelled and charged at Tranza. Grabbing his bolt, Tranza charged at Geki, the two swords clash, constantly managing to block each other's moves and the sound of their blades clacking. Geki was starting to get to the upper hand until Tranza kicked Geki in the shin, slicing him across the top of his chest. Grunting constantly in his chest, Geki got up and said,
Mina! I got him! Right!
Mothbreaker!
Gussie switched the Mothbreaker to laser mode.
Hero!
Combining the arrow.
Twister Lance!
Splitting the lance into two and tossing the two to the arrow.
Saber daggers!
Combining the sides.
Ryukiken!
The sword was placed in the middle, making the weapon complete.
Really, you people should see it. It's utterly dorky.
Colin! They said in unison, pointing at Tranza.
Ready!
Geki asked. Aim! Fire! They shouted as the beams of light shot at Tranza. Tranza tried to block but couldn't take it and fell over exploding. The two Rangers disassembled a Halley cannon and walked over to where Tranza exploded. As they got closer, Blur saw past them, glancing them across the chest and causing a spark. The Jew Ranger fell over in pain, clenching their chest. Tranza appeared and walked over to the Jew Ranger, his weapons drawn. Now, which one of you will die first? He said, looking over them, pacing. He pointed his weapon at Geki's throat. I did enjoy our little battle. Tronza told him as he started his weapon back, ready to kill. Geki! Geki! Wait! Called a voice. Tronza looked over to find the source to see a man flying towards him, knocking Tronza down. Who is that? Geki asked between grunts as he tried to look up at his savior. He couldn't see a face, but he could see he was wearing a red and white striped shirt, blue jean pants, and a pair of gloves. When Tronza got up, he saw the man do a spit kick and punch him in the face, touching the left side of his mouth, knowing blood. He looked up at the man in anger, turned in shock. No! Tronza began to stir. It can't be! Scuffling his feet, Tronza got up and teleported away. Shocked at this, the man ran to the Zyuranger to try to help Geki up. You okay? The man asked him. Yeah, Geki asked as he grunted. But who are you? The man looked at Geki and said, Tendo Ryu.